Ready or not, you either hate it, love it, or you think it's a bit of propaganda and has a community that's too obsessed with realism. Either way, this game is a controversial one, whether it be for its depiction of certain CCM material or the school violence mission. Although the praise is also there, with it being compared to SWAT 4 and the older Rainbow Six games, often being called the spiritual successor to both. I will be covering the campaign, but instead of the way the campaign is structured in game, where the harder missions are last and the easier missions are first, I'll be covering it in chronological order. I will not be covering the game's controversy. I do not want to deal with that. Ready or Not tells the story of the Los Sueños Police Department's operations over the years of 2025 and 2026, showing us the reality of a SWAT unit's operations in a big city. Before we start with the story and the lore of Los Sueños, let's make one thing clear. The timeline on screen right now is the chronological timeline of the story that we are led through in Los Sueños. Some of those missions are DLC missions. We will cover the DLCs in another video. Alright, now let's start with the story. Los Sueños is a fictional version of Los Angeles and is depicted throughout the game as a city that has seen its glory days and are now far past it. We see the worst side of this city, whether it be violence against schools or cults. We are sent to it all. Our story starts with a gas station robbery. The LSPD received calls about a gas station being robbed by two people, its manager and a customer. The robbery was being carried out by teenage meth addicts. Their names being Andre Williams, Jaden Fletcher, and Sion Prechlow. Our main objectives were to locate the customer and the manager who called, the manager being dead, us hearing him being shot on the call, with our other objective being finding the customer who called's daughter. Before we enter the gas station, we see the body of a victim. They shot him before they entered the gas station. As we enter the gas station, we see the scene. It's chaos, with victims standing around and the perpetrators as well. We enter the back of the gas station, which is a different business. In the back of the building, we find another body and the body of a dog. But what we are looking for won't be in the public areas of the gas station. What we are looking for will be the employee only sections. In the employee only section, we find the body of the manager and the caller's daughter. The so called For You gas station siege was a coincidence that ended in multiple deaths. The suspects knew each other because they attended high school together. Although this incident was a tragedy, the next one is going to be one of the worst ones in the game. To the video. On the 19th of April 2025, LSPD received calls about a shooting at Neon nightclub. But we have reason to believe that this is more than just a regular mass shooting, that this is a terrorist attack from a Yemenis terrorist group called The Hand in response for airstrikes in North Yemen. As we go into the nightclub, we find suicide vests on civilians and the terrorists, and it's a brutal scene nonetheless. Bodies strewn around, families calling to make sure that their loved ones are okay. Only the lucky ones getting to see them again. This will surely raise questions about the US intelligence and how such terrorists were able to carry such an attack out. But that is a question for a different day. The question now is who is the main suspect in this attack? The man on screen is only known by Kodama. Nobody knows his real name. Nobody knows his age. Nobody knows anything except he was born in Yemen, and that it is our mission to catch him. We find out after the attack that 60 people died, making this one of the worst mass attacks in United States history. Members of the Hand can be heard saying the tactical unit or SWAT is coming. raising the question, do they have access to police radios or have somebody inside the police department? Environmental storytelling in this mission is some of the best in the game, and this game does environmental storytelling better than most. As you go around in this mission and see the piles of bodies piled up by the terrorists, and as you see the civilians with the suicide vests on, and the terrorists with the suicide vests on who will run at you and you have to shoot them. This game is horrifying in its portrayal of real life events. It's almost traumatizing to the point where a game can be traumatizing. It's a horror game masked in a tactical shooter, and that's one of the best scenes about it. And it is also one of the best scenes about SWAT 4. Now, let's move on to the next mission, which just so happens to be my favorite mission in the game. Before I start with this mission, I want to plug my Twitch and my Blue Sky and my Wattpad. All three of these are connected because I stream when I don't have my fanfiction. But this is taken from a live stream where I was blasting emo music and rap music and pretty much every other kind of music I like and singing my lungs out at 1 in the morning. The Twitch is on screen. The Blue Sky and the Wattpad are going to be in the description of the video and my channel description. Thank you. Have a great last note. If you can't take a joke about politics, I recommend you don't read my fanfiction. So that's all. I am insulting both parties. Hillary Clinton is going to be mad at me. Let's just say that. This mission also revolves around a hand. Their leader, Kodama, was captured during the nightclub attack and demasked. This is him. Saha Astula, as you know him, Kodama, was captured during his attack on the nightclub and transferred to the Golden Grove Medical Center after he suffered a medical emergency. The hand attacked, looking to free him. This is where we come in. I want to mention the fact, and this will come up in the controversies part of the video later as well, that I think that there's no children in this mission because of the school shooting controversy a few years back. But again, that is speculation. As we go through this mission, we see a lot of gore and a lot of violence. The hand has taken 4 levels of the hospital if you include the ground level, and we have to clear all 3 of the floors with rooms on them. This is one of the biggest maps in the game, which makes it more fun. As we clear out the hospital, we find bombs in there, along with hand members dressed up as medical staff, which we were briefed on in the briefing for all fairness. This leads to us having to take every medical personnel into custody as well for protection, which leads to bigger problems about whether or not people get the treatment they need automatically. In clearing this hospital on the 3rd level, there is a walkway, which is one of the only times I have used my scope in the game because of the walkway being so far apart and me not being able to see it with my laser. A fun trivia fact is some of the hand members can be heard talking about killing him, and since they are searching for their leader, it can be assumed that they are trying to kill their leader in this raid. Now let's move on to the next mission. This should just show you why I fucking hate this mission.
I'm happy I did it.
Please, for Christ's sake, shut the fuck up. Okay, now that that's over with. This mission is by far the worst fucking mission in the game. So, some LSPD officers were shot, leading us to be called in. Now, this mission's the only mission that has me questioning, why D Platoon? I saw when I signed up for the LSPD, I said no cults. Clearly, they didn't fucking listen. Alright, back to character. This cult has been shooting at LSPD officers. We have 1 dead. So they send my ass in. So who are our suspects? Wait, that's not right. That bitch actually started a TikTok cult that led to kids hurting themselves. Fuck you. Fuck the rest of them too. Now, who are our actual suspects? Here we have Eve Nassner and Elaine Raskin. Now, Mrs. Raskin worked for this game's version of the CIA, and I'm just going to show you a video of the project she worked on. Well, I know what my nightmares are gonna be of tonight. Dude, imagine hearing that shit while seeing the Hatman after you took a shit ton of Benadryl. I don't take Benadryl. Don't do stupid shit. But if you do, play this audio while you see the fucking Hatman. Just so I don't get fucking banned. YouTube, I do not condone the use of Benadryl as a drug. Do not take Benadryl to get high. Your ass is stupid as shit if you do. But keep on posting those Hatman stories for my entertainment. TikTok needs those Hatman stories, y'all. If you post a Hatman story, my handle is on the screen right now for my personal account. Add me, dude. I want to see those stories. They're entertaining. But I feel like I have to say this twice. YouTube, I do not condone taking Benadryl as a drug. Do not ban me for this joke. Not but for real, it's right there. You know what to do. So what is the NIA doing with those creepy ass people? Well, we don't really know because the people who make this game have decided not to release any more DLC since last year. No, I was incorrect. It's actually 2 years. Hey, at least they released it on console, right? No. So, what is the NIA doing? Well, we have a little bit of an idea. And before I start going deep into Ready or Not lore, and I spend too much time on the fucking computer. I want to give credit to the wiki because all of the people who post on there and make the game fucking understandable to people like me who are just fans of the old Red game. I mean the old Rainbow Six games and like those kind of shooters. I want to say thank you because my ass is not playing another 20 hours of this bullshit. Floyd will be lucky if I spend $10 on the fucking next DLC. This shit has freaked me out past the point where I'm going to be fucking freaked out. So that creepy video you saw was evidence for the LSPD for the Murosapa Lily organization, who I'm quoting the wiki here, are the brainchild of the USIA. So, who are these people, and why do they seem to have connections with a dude who shot 2 cops, a grill who leads another cult, and the character we play as in Ready or Not's campaign? Man, I'm so happy that this is on mute. My ass was singing Madonna in Chapel Roan. Man, I wish Madonna would accept that she got old and wasn't as cool as she used to be, but she won't. Now, back to the story. So, this is the footage from the raid of the dude who shot 2 cops. Just so you know, I'm not just playing random ass footage in here. It all makes sense in the long run. Okay, so I'm not reading too much into this, so I'm not bringing up the connection at hand because I don't know how much of that was being in early access and them just having to use what they had. But I will be talking about their connections to this person because it's written in the story. So, who are these people? And why are they acting so weird in video, right? Um, well, I mean, according to a wiki, they are seen to be acting very strangely, wandering around as if they are in a trance. The show reference to the old American flag, which is something I was going to bring up too. If these people are, you know, NIA and they're, civilian and and there's like intelligence like made, right? And why are they using the old American flag? Now that also raises questions. Now, she had connection Gerald Scott, the game's Ted Kaczynski, Christopher Donner type. Like Eve, he worked at the USIA and seemed to have connections to the Mariupol Lily organization, but we still don't have any answers as to who they are or or why they are connected to three main characters in the story. So let's get back to the mission we were covering. So let's look at our suspects again. Mrs. Raskin has already been covered, and Mrs. Nassner has not. Mrs. Nassner was reported missing in 2011 by her husband and child, which makes it more surprising that she was found in this cult since they killed men. Oh, yes. Since I bring that up, let's cover that as well. In this room I'm about to enter, we will find the conspiracies of murders of three men, each of them having done specific crimes against these women. Horrific, sure, but I mean, I don't really blame them. As you can see, this guy is clearly a creep. This dude beat her, and the rest of them are dicks too. So, why are these women interacting with these men, and why are these women killing them? Well, they hurt them. And since this quote is about vigilantism, people who hurt them have to die in their opinion. Not my opinion, their opinion. I'm tired of this fucking mission. When it comes up in other missions, we'll talk about it in other missions. Let's move on. God fucking damn it. Well, I've put close to 12 hours in this video, so I'm not scrapping it. So let's get started. So, who is this man? This man is named Gerald Scott. He is an ex-USIA analyst and has connections to Eve from the last mission. It is not known if he has connections to the cults that she seems to be a part of, or the agency school. Now, I compared him to these two waste of breaths. He is really like them. Like Christopher here, the dude shot two cops, which is why we are rating him. Like Ted, dude lives in the forest and it's in a fucking ghillie suit when we find him. What a wonderful case! Now, if you couldn't tell, I'm starting to question my life decisions. Also, why I ever picked up this game in the first place, and also why I put 60 hours into this bullshit. But hey, dude has to have some redeeming qualities, right? No, he doesn't have any. Aside from being a creepy motherfucker who put IEDs behind his doors, this man waited outside the police department and lit a car on fire. When the cops came out to set the fire out because, they're not expecting shit, well, then he shot at them and ran away. Some real characters the USIA is hiring, huh? Well, we come in to his isolated cabin, and I don't know if you've seen the memes. I'm not looking for it anymore. If you look up Ready or Not Cabin Mission Bomb Under Door meme, you'll find a bunch of videos of school children playing Bloody Knuckles from 15 years ago. Um, I don't think that should be on YouTube, but then again, it was uploaded 15 years ago, so I don't know. Ree, I have no idea who you are. I will probably never meet you, but you are a legend. And in our class, no less. So, this crazy motherfucker was mad about us killing Eve. That might have been why he shot at those cops. There's also a relation between him and Ted, because Ted was involved in MK Ultra. This motherfucker was involved in whatever the fuck is going on in this game. That's all. I'm done with this shit. Let's move on. Finally, a normal kind of mission. Twisted Nerve. Oh my god, this mission is brutal. My first time playing through Ready or Not, I didn't finish it because I got stuck too often. But this mission pissed me off to the moon. But I after the last two, I'm kind of taking pleasure in talking about this one. So you might be wondering, whatever happened to those people from the For You gas station siege? Well, I don't know about lore, but they're dead in my universe because I shot them. Um, yeah, these guys were connected to this meth house or crack house or whatever the hell you want to call it, and that's why we're raiding it. So, who are our suspects? Our suspect here is named Julio. Julio here is only known by his alias, which is Julio, and is wanted by us. A scene about his house, family who owned it died, and it's being fumigated, which some people think is a reference to Breaking Bad, but I don't know if it is or not. So, the house is a cooking site and a trap house. That's why we find two meth labs. And there is also an underground area of the map that originally was thought to be a cooking area, but it wasn't. Anyway, let's move on. Before we move on, you will see this mission and controversy section, but I'll talk about that then. Now let's move on. On October 1st, 2025, a terrorist group comprised of veterans named the Left Behind shot at presidential candidate Fremont. The then Senator Fremont was shot at for his support of a bill that would have cut veteran funding. But the militia, made up of veterans, missed the senator, killing two police officers and three civilians, leading us to be sent in. The militia have taken an apartment building's floor hostage, meaning we have to clear out the apartments, save the civilians, and eliminate the threat posed by the veterans. We don't have any specific suspects in this mission. We do have objectives, regular objectives such as rescue all the civilians, which is expanded into each civilian, and bring order chaos as well, and newer objectives as well, such as finding the sniper rifles in room 1204 and 1201. Once you find those, the mission is over. I want to point out something else before I move on to the next part of this section. I want to point out the paintings on the wall painted by the Left Behind in one of the apartments. As we enter the apartment, we see the body of a doorman, and then we see the painting. As you can see on the screen, it is everywhere. It says fuck cops and many other scenes, and it is in spray paint. We also find a sniper rifle there. This is your sniper den. After an attempt on his life, Senator Fremont was put under protective custody, with the agency protecting him being the Secret Service. He was transferred to the luxury Clemont Hotel, but the Secret Service was infiltrated, which means that they were put in even more danger, leading us to be sent into into his part of the hotel to save his family and him. We find out that the Secret Service agents have put wire traps under the doors, just like the attack the day before. But in this attack, it's more than just normal civilians. In this attack, it's a presidential candidate and his family. As we clear the hotel, we find his family in different positions being taken prisoner by the Secret Service agents. This is a screen grab of the CCTV footage that of the Secret Service entering the hotel floor by elevator. You can see they're heavily armed and you can see that they're coming in ready for a fight. One of the voice lines from one of the characters in this mission is saying they just came in shooting, showing that they were prepared for a gunfight no matter what. This is a photo from the news report on the hotel raid. The Secret Service agents who raided the hotel that the Fremonts were staying in brought a THX camera to film the execution of the family. The main suspects are the Secret Service agents and our victims, and the civilians in the building are the family. We don't have any specific names for the Secret Service agents. This map is replacing the early access map, Checking In. Although I did play Ready or Not in early access, and 1.0 has had many of the maps removed and many of the features I enjoyed removed. I never played Checking In, so I can't tell you whether the map was good or not. I tried finding footage of the crime choice part of the menu when you would try joining into the game. That was there for a few months before Ready or Not became a full game, but I couldn't find any because of the rise of the popularity of the game and because of how long ago that was. But that was one of the best features in the game. I would also like to highlight the fact that this map's name is Sin of the Father, Sins of the Father, and in the Bible, the sins of the father can affect everybody else in the family, and the fury of original sin and everything else. Well, the first mission takes place on October 1st. This mission takes place on October 2nd, showing that the Left Behind were prepared for a second attack if it came to that. Now let's move on to the next mission. My second favorite mission. Well, at least this one isn't creepy like those gold ones. This one is a mission where you go into a cartel tunnel and have to clear it out. We are teaming up with Borak, which is Border Control Tactical Team, the FSIA, which is this game's version of the FBI, to stop the Los Locos cartel from trafficking drugs into our country. We have an informant who called us. Here is said phone call.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you got for me?
I've got something big, but I'm gonna need immunity or whatever because I'm like risking my life telling you this.
It's the same deal as always. But you know I'm fair. If it's good, we'll talk when you're finished.
Alright, well, this is good. I've been watching this place. A ranch.
A ranch?
Yeah, man, a ranch. But hear me out. It's a front. The real deal is what goes on inside and what happens in the backyard. They're running everything through this place, man. People, drugs, cash, you name it, it's passing through.
A coyote den?
This isn't just a coyote den. I wouldn't risk myself for one of them. This is the coyote den. It's the primary shuttle point for the Los Locos into the city and back down into Mexico.
I'm listening.
Good, because that's not it. They are moving shit tonight. Big things, man. I've seen them preparing stuff for days now. The streets are buzzing with it. I don't know what, I really don't. But if you want to shut down a tunnel and get your hands on some big Los Locos names, I'd get myself a team and head out into the desert.
You got an address?
Yeah, it's way out in the lowlands on the Costa Vina border. A ranch called Rancho del Sueños.
Cute name.
What?
Yeah, nothing. Just carry on.
Right. So it's this ranch over by the border, derelict sort of place. At least it was the last time I was there, but that's just a front. They process everything in the house, but the tunnels, they start in the back. There's this river underground, and they have a whole functional dock set up that they use to move things quickly. But you gotta be careful. It's a fucking labyrinth down there.
This is good. Keep talking.
What do you mean good? This is a gold mine for you. What more do you want from me, man?
I want real details. Something that's actually going to help us.
Details? I'm giving them to you on a plate.
What are we going to find there? Where should we look? Have you got a route through the tunnels? Are there any traps?
I don't know any of that. I was there ages ago and got taken in and taken out. All I remember is there's lots of branching tunnels, but only one way through. They won't have it trapped on account of the traffic moving through. They've got weapons down there, so as soon as they know you're coming, things will change.
This is good. We'll take a look.
It's more than good. I give you my word. It's the real deal. So, how about my immunity?
We'll see. If this checks out like you say, I don't think that will be a problem. Now, you better get going. This has been a long call. Dump the phone, and I'll get a new one to you. I'll be in touch.
Well, I think he got immunity because it was the real deal. As we go down there, we find multiple pathways, and he is right. There is a river with a drug boat down there that is in from people, drugs, money, weapons from Mexico to Los Sueños, which leads us to be able to shut it down. Now, there weren't no traps down there, but I didn't realize that while I was playing this mission. So I was prepared for traps. That's why I have people using the wands. Let's move on. Before we start, I want to mention the movie this is based off and the actual attack that movie was based off. Elephant is a 2003 film, written and directed by Gus Van Sant and produced by Danny Wolf. Elephant is a brutal depiction of the Columbine High School massacre. Originally supposed to be a documentary about Columbine, Elephant was later changed into a fiction piece. Elephant is one of the most brutal films ever made. The film is just an eerie piece of art. It starts off peaceful and turns into chaos in a little bit of the film. A lot of people don't like this film because of how it starts and because of its depiction of a school shooting. There is another Columbine film called Zero Day and a lesser known one about them being neo-Nazis. I recommend you don't watch any of these movies. Now I'll go into the real incident. This incident remains infamous as it is because of a few misconceptions. And Elephant isn't the most brutal mission in this game because of the violence or because of the blood and gore. It's the most brutal mission in this game because of what it highlights in American life and how what it highlights affects all of us. The effect of this incident can be seen in the lore of the game with how our evidence handler in the game before this mission quits because his son dies in this mission. You can find box of evidence with the words "my son" scribbled on them, along with other pieces of wordish which I will not go into because of how sad they are. This mission is one of the most horrifying missions in the game, one of the most sad missions in the game as well, and not only because of what it depicts but because of what it's based off of, because it's based off of a real event. Mission, we find out that these kids were depressed and that they were in poverty. There's also a social media post, which I will not read, that you find when you go when you beat this mission in S rank, which is the highest rank you can beat a mission in this game. If you don't move fast enough in this mission, kids will get shot. That's all I want to talk about in this mission. Let's move on. And, well, an FISA agent and a customs inspector for the LSPD have been trafficking weapons into the country. Two detectives from the criminal investigation unit left the post office were about to enter in critical condition heading towards the hospital. This is a situation that needs to be controlled. Our objectives are to arrest FSIA agent Jack Adams and to bring peace and order to the area, along with arresting Maria Lopez and finding Eugene Gomez and locating the FSIA office. Jack Adams will turn around and shoot at you most of the time when you find him. He is on the screen right now after I put some bullets in him. This mission is one of the biggest maps in the game, which is why it's also near the end of the game. And it's just one of the most annoying missions in the game. It's one of the missions I hate the most. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. This is up there with this is up there with Elephant as one of the saddest missions in the game. These kids whose mom has terminal cancer start selling weapons to people who want to buy weapons so they can pay for treatment. We go in because it's illegal to sell weapons that you manufacture in your attic. Most of the time, these people will shoot at you once you enter the building, which makes it impossible not to shoot them. And if I was smart, I would have played this mission with non-lethal weapons, but I wasn't, so I played it with lethal weapons. Maybe even sadder than Elephant, just because of these kids trying to sell stuff for their mom and us having to step in and finish it. These people are being supplied by the human traffickers in hide and seek because they are importing illegal weapons into the city, which make their way to them. It is indirect. They don't know where they're getting these weapons from, but it is still something to keep in mind. It is also important to keep in mind that there is a theory that the weapons used in Elephant are also supplied from the Tran brothers. But that is just a fan theory. Well, I guess it's starting. This kid called the cops on himself and swatted himself. That dude falling through the roof is pretty funny. No, so what we will find in this guy's apartment will lead us to arrest more people who are very, very bad child predators. So, how does this start? Well, we received a call saying that the streamer, Michael Williams, took his brother hostage and killed his mother. When we raided his apartment, it turns out that did not happen. So why is this in the game? This is just a normal swatting, for all we know. Well, it isn't. This swatting will lead us to find George Brixley and Fall, the two major pedophiles in this game. When we enter William's room, we find pictures on his computer that I cannot show or describe. But this guy was also a weeboo. I mean,
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side! Wait,
that's some weird shit, man. The point of this mission is to show us how our raids on the Surfer Farm and the other parts of the storyline started, and I think it is a wonderful starting off point. Now let's move on. During the raid on the Williams residence and the whole apartment complex, we found a data center for cryptocurrency development. On those hard drives, we also found CP and the IP address linked to Mindrod, so we raid them. Mindrod is a company that has declared bankruptcy and is selling off all of their assets. This raid is connected to a Brixley Talent Time raid and all of the other raids where we cached this child photo ring. Brixley Talent Time is not a normal talent agency. It is a talent agency that supplies certain people who are attracted to children. This talent agency is being raided by us and he doesn't know it. But being paranoid as the man is, he hired some lowlives, which means we have to go unarmed for our own protection. The suspects are George Brixley. This man is an evil man who has connections to most of the remaining missions. He refers to the hide and seek mission where he mentions human traffickers in the port raid. He has connections to Fall in the Valley of Dolls, who's is the dude whose house we are raiding, because they have a message together. And 20 megabytes a second, which is the one where we raid the streamer who threatened his mom, the hard drive found in the server room directly implicates George Brixley. Now that mission is the one of the last ones we're going to be covering. In this mission, we find a green screen and photo rooms where these kids were taken advantage of, along with civilians who are in there for some reason unknown to us. Brixley manages to be one of the most disgusting men in this game, and he isn't the most. Now let's move on. The need for Chris Hansen is strong with this one. So what happens when we raid a director of adult movies who happens to be making movies with children? Well, multiple of his security guards end up dead, and so does he. So why are we raiding this house? Well, we have evidence that this house is connected to a CP ring, and it is known that Fool is directly profiting from it. We are raiding his house during his estranged daughter's birthday party, which is probably going to lead to more issues for him. We find an underground level when we get to ground level that has the rooms where he films it, as along with a photo of little girl on the wall that is huge. This mission is one of the weirdest in the game, and there are similarities to one of the most famous perverts out there, although I think that is unintentional. So who are our suspects? Our main suspect is Almost Fall, the dude who's behind all of these movies. And our secondary suspect is Bolton Security. They will shoot at us, which will lead us to kill them. I have a confession. I played this game. I played this mission, and the mission we will be covering after this one on the easiest difficulty every time I play it, just so I can shoot them and kill them whenever they turn around. Because these people are the worst of the worst. There is also a Fury that in the pit we find when we enter the basement. That might be where some people are buried. In this mission, the LSPD, FISA, and ATF are implanted in the port of Los Sueños to find and stop the arms trade. In this mission, we will find human trafficker victims and a ring of people buying them. This is probably going to be expanded in DLC since this is the last real story mission, but I won't ever know about it because I'm not playing this game after I'm done with this review. Our suspects are a man only known by Marek. He was last spotted with an entourage of security guards when he was last at the port. There are only 3 main objectives, and there are many more soft objectives, which include report the auction room laptops and report illegal drugs in the storage container. This mission raises more questions than it answers, but you'll have to figure that out from somewhere else because I am done with this mission. Well, thank you for making it this far. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will be posting on Wattpad within the next week. If you want to follow my Blue Sky, you can do that. I will be back with another video in a few weeks as well. Thank you for making it this far. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm out.